Hey, welcome to our new video. Finally, a new version of Linux Mint arrived. It's Linux Mint 22.1, codenamed Zia. It brings new features and subtle improvements, including visual modernization. However, again, the question is, do you really need to upgrade to the new iteration? So, stay tuned. We have divided the new things in Linux Mint 22.1 into two categories. Those that so-called average users will see on the surface, and those that happened in the background. The Linux Mint team has published an article encompassing all the new features in Zia. So, what users will probably notice is that the new version of the popular Linux-based operating system has introduced the Power Modes option. In short, as the Linux Mint team pointed out, choosing a power mode allows users to balance between power saving and performance optimization. The following power modes are available on all computers: Power Saver mode that limits performance to conserve energy, and Balance mode that adjusts performance based on users' needs. As you can see here in our Linux Mint 21.3, the Power Modes feature is not available. The next feature introduced in Zia is Nightlight. According to the Linux Mint team, the option is designed to reduce your exposure to blue light by warming up the color of your monitor. This feature is fully integrated into the Cinnamon desktop environment, and it supports both Xorg and Wayland. To enable Nightlight, users need to navigate to Settings, then choose Nightlight, and toggle the option to activate it. Again, the feature is not available in our Linux Mint 21.3 Virginia edition. The standout feature in Linux Mint 22.1 seems to be the latest version of the Cinnamon desktop environment. In Zia, it's Cinnamon 6.4, and it introduces a brand new default theme, native dialogues, new features, and much improved Wayland compatibility. According to the Linux Mint team, the default theme was redesigned with a modern aesthetic, characterized by smoother, rounded elements and darker tones that provide more contrast and depth. These changes are aimed at making the Cinnamon desktop visually appealing. The confirmation dialogues feature a cleaner layout and clearly separated buttons. On-screen display elements were also redesigned to look cleaner and more modern than before. As always, the new Linux Mint introduced artwork improvements. The Linux Mint team reminds us that since Linux Mint Maya in 2012, every Linux Mint release has come with a fresh batch of desktop wallpapers. However, with over 20 collections now, finding the right set has gotten tricky. So, starting with Linux Mint 22.1, wallpapers are moving to themed sets, making them easier to explore and more organized. The first set is Wallpapers, full of bold, colorful designs, featuring cool abstract patterns and 3D shapes to give your desktop a vibrant new look. Of course, in our Virginia build, we still have the old-style wallpaper sets. In the background, the Linux Mint team in Zia introduced modernization of apt dependencies. As they say, the goal was to clean up outdated components, rationalize and create a streamlined, future-proof set of package management tools and libraries. To put it simply, many of the previous tools working in the background were built over a decade ago and are no longer maintained upstream. Their aging design and limited features created persistent issues and barriers to innovation. So, for instance, Linux Mint 22.1 does not feature GDebi any longer. It's an app for manual installation and uninstallation of the .deb files, that is, the apps outside the official repositories. Now, it's replaced with a modern app called Captain. And last but not least, Linux Mint 22.1 features a Linux kernel 6.8 and an Ubuntu 24.04 package base. It will receive security updates until 2029. All in all, Linux Mint 22.1 seems to continue the tradition of gradual changes while keeping the familiar desktop experience. So, as always, the question arises, do users really need to upgrade to the latest version of Linux Mint? The shortest answer could be the following. If you have critical builds that work fine and are stable, like our Virginia daily driver, then there's no real need to upgrade. It still works perfectly. The apps from Linux Mint 21.3 are older compared to those in Xia. However, you can compensate for it with the applications from FlatHub. If you care about the looks and rounded corners, you can install third-party themes, like we did here, and you get a modern look of Linux Mint. However, if you start from scratch with a new machine, then installing the latest version of Linux Mint is probably a better choice, since chances are Xia is going to settle well with the newer hardware. Anyway, have you tried Linux Mint 22.1? What do you think about Xia? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Please give us a like, share the video if you find it useful, and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.